Welcome back to Studio One Vintage Guitars, home of New Zealand's vintage guitars. I'm Nick Brightwell, and today I'm showing you a beautiful Gruhn Special D28 12 fret. If you like this content, please like, subscribe and share, and we'll have lots more content coming your way soon. So let's talk about this very, very special Martin guitar. Gruhn Guitars are based in Nashville, Tennessee, and they are the world's premier acoustic and vintage guitar sales group. They have been operating since the 70s, and George Gruhn is one of the authorities on vintage guitars. He is an encyclopedia of knowledge and has promoted the sale of vintage guitars for a long time. So what George does is he orders special order guitars from Martin, and he bases them on particular options that Martin offered throughout their history, and he brings them together as a small run of guitars. So what we have is a D28 from the early 30s. Before we had your 14 fret D28, you had the 12 fret D28. And these guitars have been made famous by Norman Blake, the great flat picker. They've also been seen throughout guitar, but really they only made so many of them in the early 30s, and they quickly changed the 14 fret. The 14 fret, is just a different body style, of course, and that means you have a bit more projection. This guitar is, you could say, this is the end of the line as far as the pre-1930s Martins. So you could say this is their largest body style. So let's talk about the features of this guitar. First of all, you have a shade top, which is very, very rare, and it's a beautiful shade top. Then you have the modern style bridge. You have a slotted headstock with Grover tuners, and then you have your standard 28 appointments. So you have the herringbone, you have the Ivoroid binding, you have the zipper on the back, and we have East Indian rosewood back and sides, and Adirondack top. Now, we do not sell this guitar, but we can help you obtain one of these from Gruhn if you like. You can also contact Gruhn directly, and they can sort you out. I know at the moment, as this video is posted, that they have 2 in stock. These come in very rare numbers. This particular guitar I picked up while I was in Nashville. I played a bunch of them, and this one was just the standout model. The interesting thing about this guitar, comparing it to a D28, is you really don't have to play it hard. That larger body style just really gives you all the volume that you need before you start hitting it hard. So, the interesting thing about this particular model is that George Gruhn has a 1933 12 fret D28, which I've played and which is incredible, and he's used that guitar as the template for this particular model. Now the interesting thing is, you play this 1933 guitar, which is one of the finest Martins I've played, and it's exceptional, and it's obviously been played a lot, so it's well played in, and it just feels very open. But when you compare this guitar to it, you realize they're not that far off. This guitar over time will sound amazing. Now, most people are going to go, well, it doesn't have Brazilian rosewood back and sides. And I've been a strong believer that Brazilian is the way to go if you really want a fine guitar. But the truth is that a good batch of East Indian rosewood is just as good as Brazilian, sometimes even better. You had to keep in mind that Brazilian was chosen at the time because it was the most readily available. You know, getting stuff from Brazil was a little bit easier than getting it from East India at the time. But now, some of the stock of East Indian rosewood is just incredible. And I think something you had to keep in mind when we're talking about these Brazilian guitars from the pre-war is they also have an Adirondack top that's been, you know, essentially played for almost 100 years. And the top does have, you know, the overriding sound quality to it. So a well-played top that's well matured always sounds amazing. So this is truly a rare bird in the Martin stock, and I would say this is the shining light of George Gruhn's special models that he's ordering in. Once again, if you want to find one of these, you can go to Gruhn Guitars or guitars.com. Now, if you're in New Zealand and you want to get one of these, we are happy to help you facilitate one, providing that Gruhn have them in stock. We will purchase it and we'll get it over here for you. Otherwise, you can go to Gruhn and pick one up yourself. I highly recommend looking at these guitars. This is a very, very special Martin. So thank you for watching and thank you for listening. If you have any questions, just get in touch with us. I'm Nick Brightwell. Have a great day.